Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, you're an existing subscriber. I thank you so very much for your support, especially during this chaotic, tumultuous time we're all going through. And if you're new to the channel, you just landed here. My name is Afefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. I am an intuitive tarot reader. I also use oracle cards, and I'm also a former newspaper journalist. So my readings tend to be kind of, brass tacks. I try to keep it real, keep it down to earth. I try to kind of do my homework, make sure that I get, I feel comfortable on the topics before I go to spirit and do readings for you all. So I feel real comfortable with that. I love doing this work. I love having you here. This has not been an easy time for us, especially on the political front, right? We've been working really hard to just try and maintain ranks. I've certainly had myself and many other people on the platform, as you all know, have had quite a bit of backlash in the wake of the election and people's predictions and are you real or are you fake? And Spirit's been dealing with me. My guides have been dealing with me to say, look, I know the impact that my work has had on clients. I know that what I give, I know my ethics. I know who I am in my soul. That said, leads me to, I want to share with you all, many of you have probably already seen this on social media. There is an incredible couple of pictures of Kamala Harris, I think in the couple of days after the election, sitting with her grandnieces playing Connect 4. And she's sitting there on the floor, got the hair tied back, no makeup. All you can see is her usual, that bright smile. She's on the floor with the little girls in the Connect 4. She got her little glass of wine on the side, right? The point is, and I'm so glad that her niece, I believe the girl's mother, Mina, is who shared the photo on Instagram. And then, of course, it spread throughout the internet. But it was just such a powerful statement about Kamala's joy being authentic and real. And it wasn't about stumping on the campaign, and it wasn't about trying to sell the American electorate a bunch of BS. It is who she is. And I just think there's a powerful, I was getting from my spirit guides and offering to you all, there's a powerful lesson in that for all of us during this time, especially those of us who are still struggling to come to grips with what may or may not happen. We're hearing a lot more information about, the behind the scenes machinations that may have taken place, the idea that in fact Kamala Harris did get the popular vote, whether or not the Biden administration, the FBI, etc., is aware of this and there's something going on behind the scenes, right? Someone put in my comments a while ago, and I really appreciated it, said, the bottom line is the left hand isn't going to show what the right hand is doing. So maybe there is a lot going on behind the scenes that we got 2 more months before January 20th. Who knows what will happen? But meantime, so many people are, again, there's this anger that families are being fractured. You understand. I don't even have to explain it to you because you're living it in real time, same as me, right? But I thought, so I'm offering, hang on to, so can you imagine for all of us in our own individual situations, our own families, our own communities, imagine to put yourself in Kamala Harris's shoes just for one moment. And the idea that she has, and I did a reading on her last week, and others have, I'm sure, and it said, yes, she's sad, and yes, she's trying to figure out what the heck is going on, but that family was going to see her through, that her connection with family is just par none. It's not just Doug, her husband, but she does have an incredible network around her. So if she can stay tapped into her joy through her family, through loving the people who she knows love her, then I think Spirit is encouraging all of us. At least that's what my guides are saying. Just to encourage all of us to do the same during this time. Yes, we want to stay plugged in and involved, but we also need to parse off some time to be with those that we know we're safe with, we love them, they love us, okay? Now, that said, also want to ask, I'm going to look more into this a little later, not today, but I do want to bring your awareness to, if you're not already aware, and ask your prayers. We remember during the election, so much happened because of Vance in regards to the Haitian community in Springfield, Ohio, right? So now I understand they are in a panic because there are substantial numbers of them. There's a whole economy in Springfield based around them and their work and their service and their stores and their taxes, their tax base. They have become a tax base in Springfield. They're trying to get the heck out of there. You know, they're afraid of this whole idea that they could all possibly be rounded up and put in camps and their families separated, et cetera, et cetera. So people in Springfield, Ohio are saying, oh my gosh, the worst may happen, because if in fact our Haitian community flees, then the plant factories, the jobs, the service industry that they've really helped, and in return, again, then contributing to the tax base and the economy of that area is going to tank, right? We're going to see that played out over and over again in various communities throughout the United States if this continues to happen. So just a lot of prayer around them. Again, I will keep my eye on that, and I'm sure that Spirit's going to lead me back to looking at that. Today, going to the cards, you all, what the is going on with the DNC? Now, we knew that there was probably going to be some change. Jamie, what's his name? Jamie Harrison, it wasn't going to happen. And that's just the nature of politics, right? You're the face of what the DNC was supposed to do, helping everything flow. And, yeah. So I think the position runs out, the chair of the DNC position runs out in March, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So already we're starting to see names being floated around for the next head of the DNC, Rahm friggin' Emanuel, who currently, as I understand, is he wasn't even on my radar anymore, right? I don't know about you. But he's been the ambassador to Japan. So David Axelrod, who's also working my nerves these days. I'd love to hear your opinion on that. He and David, what's his name? David Plouffe, like back in the Barack Obama days, I was like, yeah, okay, David, I hear you talk that talk. But, like everybody else, he and his opinions are aging. And so there's this, from what I understand, there's this looming battle for the soul of the DNC. AOC has come out and said, are you kidding me with regard to Emmanuel? Like, that is the last thing that we need in terms of, once again, having somebody who would seem to appeal to the elite/donor class versus reaching the masses, reaching the working class. And there is some soul searching that I think many leaders in the Democratic Party are undergoing and going through at this time. We as an electorate and voters, and citizens, yeah, we're going through some soul searching. But to go with an entity that you know what that's about, I'm not so sure about that. So AOC has come out strongly, talking about it. I'm sure we're going to hear from others. But here's the other thing that really struck me. They said at the end of the day, regardless, it is a white man's winter. That is how someone in, I think they were quoted in the Politico. That is how someone, and I know we're mad at a lot of media outlets, including Politico, but be that as it may, there was someone, an insider, a source that didn't want to be named, an insider with the upper echelons of the DNC, who said it's going to be a white man's winter. Bottom line, there will be no people of color in positions of leadership. There will be no women, or very few, very limited, down the pipe, down the chain of command in the DNC. Okay. That's what I want to go look at to Spirit is the Democratic Party through the leadership, the DNC, about to undergo a shift, more male, perhaps even more centrist. We have the Queen of Cups. I love that. And the King of Coins come at the bottom of the deck. that makes me feel like there's almost they just told, I just heard War of the Roses. Like, remember that movie? I'm dating myself. Some of you may remember that movie. But there is this tension between, because women, having been so involved in this campaign for Kamala Harris, they're not going to take this just lying down. Like, they can see, they can read the writing on the wall. But yes, and notice we have Queen and King. This is, both of these are authoritative energies, but just in their own way. Queens tend to be more nurturing, more even in terms of political leaders, more aware of, human concerns, more aware of how to work together collaboratively. Sometimes that we, I don't even know if I need to say sometimes, we've seen so much toxic masculinity, putting the hammer down, beating your chest. It's a man's world, that kind of thing. So I think Spirit is saying there's within the Democratic leadership, the DNC, get ready. Because I don't think that they're going to take this line down. Ten of Pentacles. It's about what getting results. It's also about the money. We are hearing all these stories about the after the campaign that for some reason, despite $1 billion or over $1 billion being raised, that the campaign is in debt. But that will be a primary factor in deciding the leadership, is what Spirit is saying. It is at the end that politics is a brutal business, and it is so much wrapped into money. So it's going to be about who is a force that can lead to the money, which Spirit is saying leads straight into AOC's argument about, are you going to pick a leader who's just about who's going to appeal to the donor class or the working class, the people? Spirit, is the Democratic Party shifting, or at least the leadership? Four of Cups, doesn't know what to do. Yeah, this is rough. This is really rough, because the thing is, suffered so much setbacks. And a Four of Cups, there's 3 cups that have spilled and 1 that's left. And this would indicate that the party is, the Democratic leadership is trying to decide. So much has already, we've lost so much in terms of our momentum, in terms of our own sense of identity. There's all of this. Spirit, does this have to do with identity politics? And whether it is about moving to a more centrist, I was waiting. Judgment. That's what's happening, you all. The notion of, for a very long time, Spirit is saying Democratic Party has relied on, it's been the party of identity politics to a certain extent. The idea that however you identify, whatever race you are, gay, straight, whatever, whoever you are, if you believe in democracy. And men, didn't we see that bear out at the campaign rallies for Kamala Harris, at the Democratic National Convention, talking about the DNC? We saw this reflected. Identities show up because they feel that they are accepted. But judgment comes and says, did that get you what you wanted? Because this is a business. This isn't just what makes you feel good. This is a business. I'm not speaking for myself or my guides. I'm saying that's the energy I see in this card for people in positions of leadership within the party, to try and decide who's their best face to put forward. So Spirit, bottom line, is this going to be a white man's winter? I've also heard names like, I read a list. I didn't write them down, but everyone, I put it to you this way, every one of them was a white male. One of them that stands out, just because I used to work in Baltimore for a newspaper, Martin O'Malley. I remember, interviewing him when he was still mayor of Baltimore, and he rose on to governor or whatever. Yeah, Martin O'Malley is one that's up for consideration. The Moon. There's so much worry and concern. And the Two of Swords. I will tell you this. What I'm getting from the guide, you all, is, and I would love to hear your sentiments as well. What I'm getting is, if they go down this path and they decide to make it a white man's winter, they they better be prepared for some backlash. AOC won't be the only person coming out, and calling it for what it is. And that's not to say that it needs to be a person of color or it needs to be a woman at the helm. But if in fact the Democratic National Committee comes out and blatantly in people's faces says, you people of color and you women didn't get the job done, so now we men got to get in here and we're going to fight fire with fire. We see what the MAGA folk and that whole Muskrat and all of them are up to, so now we got to find our version of that. And that's what a lot of people are saying. That's what the Rahm Emanuel piece is, because he is that version of that in his own way, right? Finally, closing out, Spirit. Any last things? I'm done. The devil. Spirit said, okay, I'll close it out for you. So you're going to stay attached to basically what we were just talking about. What I was getting is, this tit for tat. You want to be badass, so we're going to find some badasses on our side to fight you back. We're going to fight fire with fire. And that's that double energy. It's this lower self. It's this lower energy, this lower tempo. And I do not think in the face of, I started out this week, in the face of Kamala Harris's joy, Tim Walz's joy, America's joy, everything that we experienced, and now we're just going to go with somebody who was known, that Chicago politics. Somebody said we're going to pick somebody whose greatest threat is make you go sleep with the fishes. Well, that's what we're going to do. Let's see. All right, y'all. And also, just a part of my offering and my practice, I've been doing so much reading. I've been going back to my bookshelves, trying to keep my vibes high. So I shared Be Water, My Friend, the book. Put it up again because I still have it here if you didn't see it. Beautiful, if you're a Bruce King fan or not, but the idea of learning how to go with the flow, even as warriors, even as strong, in our strength. And another book that I'm going to recommend, if you're in your trying to keep your vibes high healing process right now, this is amazing. I want to get it, so make sure you can see that. Healing is the New High by Vex King. And the subtitle is A Guide to Overcoming Emotional Turmoil. So many people dealing with that, and finding freedom. Overcoming emotional turmoil, if I can say my words, and finding freedom. I mean, this book is marked up like I can't even tell you. It's been out some years. It's not a new book, but I've used it. I've taught with it, and it's got some useful information in there. Well, it's not that old, 2021. That's right. That's what led me to it. It was during the pandemic. So many of us were soul searching during the pandemic. So anyway, timely, Spirit. I woke up this morning and Spirit led me to this book as well. So I'm going to do a little reread, offering that for you as well, if you are like so many of us undergoing, just trying to keep it together. All right? All right, you all. Have a great day. I will check in with you probably midweek in a couple of days. Be real good. I'll talk to you soon. Remember to breathe. Chin up. We're going to be all right. All right? Connect for, play some Connect for with those you love, or whatever your version of that is. All right? I'll talk to you later. Bye.